I'm not easily shocked normally from our players, but they got me in the locker room today with a little Dasani shower. So, but it was okay. It was a little warm in there tonight anyway, so I needed it. But what a great game! College basketball is here officially, right? What an atmosphere! What a game! You got two in-state schools going at it, and here's a spoiler alert. People aren't going to like to hear this. I've known Brad Brownell for a long time, and he's a good man. He's a good coach also, but he's a really good man. And it was funny when I got the job, he called me immediately and told me, he said, hey, we're not allowed to be friends anymore. So, it makes it tough but fun and exciting at the same time to compete with somebody that you know. But he's a really good coach. He had them ready, obviously. I think they did a foreign tour this summer, and so you could see they were clicking on all cylinders at times defensively, and so. But anyway, fun college basketball game. Really excited for our guys and for them to get to play a game like that, rivalry game, and then go out and enjoy and hang out and have the whole community be in a good mood because of what they did tonight. So how cool is that for them? And so I'm just glad to be a small part of it. I didn't do much. I did a lot of cheering and talking to the officials, but I still finished with 0 points.
Questions for Coach? Let's go to John on the left, and then we'll come to Michael on the front.
What did you see on the last possession that resulted in Chico's shot? Is that what you wanted to see, and how much have y'all been able to rehearse those kind of late game deals?
Yeah, the ball went inside the rim and hit all of the net. That's exactly what I wanted to see. But yeah, we were in the timeout before. We had talked. They were making some changes. We tried to make a substitution, which ended up being a little too late, so we had to go back with our other lineup in there. But we were set on getting a stop, and that's what a lot of the talk was about. What we wanted to do. Hall's a heck of a player, obviously, to be out with an injury as long as he was, and then come back and lead them in points tonight, and looked like he had been playing for months. But so we were really locked in on what we were going to do. If we didn't want to give up a three, it's a 2-point game, right? Like, I don't want to give up anything, but certainly we had to play it in a way that we were not likely to give up a three, because you don't want to lose the game in that situation. So they got to two. We had whatever it was, 7.8, or I don't know. Somebody here probably knows exactly what was on the clock, but enough time to get it and play freely. I like oftentimes to play freely in those situations, and sometimes I'll call a timeout, but I like broken floor. I like when you have decision makers and you have multiple guys that can do things, and you have unselfish guys. I like broken floor often. And Chico got the ball. He was closest to it. I didn't even see whether they took Michi away or not, but Chico got the ball. He advanced it with pace. And because of where we were on the floor, and we had some skilled guys out there on the floor, guys hugged. And so rather than settle for something, Chico took it upon himself. He made a physical play. He got inside the paint and got to a point where he could make a shot. You get that close to the basket, you can make shots even off balance or contested shots. You can't do those from the three-point line. So it was good to see him put his head down, embrace a little contact, and just get in there and try to make a play. And he got a good shot off, a shot that obviously he can make, and it went in. So it was a great individual play by him, but it was a good job of the rest of our guys spacing to places where they made the defense spread to where he was playing one-on-one, essentially.
Hey, Coach, outside of that 14-2 run before the half, I mean, it's a tight ball game throughout. I mean, what did you make of what you guys did specifically there that sort of dictated the pace before the half?
We were moving the ball. I thought we were moving the ball. We were executing, and we even had a couple turnovers. I mean, we turned it over. Everyone had a bunch of turnovers, but we even had a couple turnovers during that stretch on a couple plays that were that the timing, they're relatively new to us. We haven't played a lot of games, and we were playing with a lineup. We started the game with a lineup that's never been around each other on the court. I don't know in the last time, maybe July, that all those guys were healthy and played together. So But yeah, I think we were executing. We were executing plays, and the looks that we were getting were good. Even Josh played a heck of a game, but Josh I hope he doesn't take this personal. He's not the most skilled passer. It's not been a part of his game, right? It's not his net worth to be here, but we ran a play that he's got to be, we call it the trigger man, that initiates the offense. And Josh caught it, and it was a duck in for Gigi. And it looked a little funny, the delivery of it, but it got, right? He sent it off, and it ended up arriving safely to where it was supposed to. Gigi catches the ball, and he gets fouled. But so to answer your question, I think we executed on the offensive end. We did. We were getting good shots. We were getting good looks. We were getting some second chance opportunities too. But we were really moving the ball and getting it. And then we scored 35 and probably could have easily been 40. And you're going to score 40 points in a half. You put yourself in position to be able to win the game.
Michael in the front.
Lamont, two things for you. One, happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Two, back-to-back tight games now, neck and neck down to the wire, but you guys have bend but not break. What has it been about this team, this group of players? I know you mentioned, I think last game about making winning plays. What is it about these guys that they've been able to do that and not break there at the end?
It's early, right? So there'll be a lot more of those situations that present themselves. This is just that's the kind of team we're going to be this year. I hope we can come out and beat somebody by 30 here or there, but there are going to be a lot of those games. And so we got some guys that are proven winners. They've been around the block. They're veteran guys. They don't overreact. I certainly don't overreact. Sometimes to the officials here or there, I do, but I don't overreact to them. They know where I am in terms of my belief in them and what they need to do next. So I think they stay relatively calm in situations. That allows you to perform. I had a player a long time ago. He always made this analogy. He said, loose muscles oftentimes perform better than tight muscles. You think about it, right? And so when guys play loose and they're comfortable with the surroundings and they know that you're not putting pressure on them, you're able to perform. But I think a lot of it is just that they believe in what they're doing, and they're confident. They're confident, and they try to stay within themselves as players and not do too much.
Pete on the right, and then Amanda in the back middle.
Hey, Lamont, over here. I know it's early, as you said, but kind of piggybacking on Michael, does this say something about what your team might be able to accomplish this year that some don't think they will?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a group of people that were in that locker room at the end, and those are the ones that it matters what they believe. Those guys and me and our staff, those are the ones that it matters what we believe. It does. And I know where our beliefs are. We know that there's a path for us. We know it's going to take work. We know we have to have some things happen. We got to defend like we did tonight. We got to rebound. I don't know if we're going to come out and score 90, and that's why we win. Maybe one game here or there, but I got a lot of belief in these guys as long as they stay the course and commit to what we're doing, and we're growth-minded. We're a growth-minded team. I'd be here saying the same thing had we lost that game. I'm glad we won. But we got to be growth-minded. So what you see now is not what you're going to see in January, but we've got some guys that have been around the game of basketball, and we got some winners. And in my experiences, winners trump a lot of different things: running fast, jumping high, how many stars will happen to be next to your name, whatever that means. I don't know what that means, but we do have some guys that are winners and they're committed to it. And so I'm really optimistic about where we could go. We're trying to get better though. That's coach speak. I mean, it's honestly not. We go to practice and we'll look at what we didn't do in this game and we'll practice passing. There aren't many teams that are going to do that this time of year. We'll practice passing on Monday, a lot of passing on Monday. And so just get back to the basics. We got to keep getting better. But I got a lot of faith and belief in these guys when they play the way they did tonight, that's for sure.
Amanda in the back middle.
Hey, Coach, you talked so much about the excitement and the crowd at the exhibition game, and then you had this type of environment at this rivalry game. How much does that mean to you to already be creating this culture?
Yeah, it's awesome. We have great fans. There's no question about it. And everybody told me that when you come here, but everyone says that. We got the greatest fans. I mean, everyone has the greatest fans, but our fan base is really good. It's really good. And, our social media people and they do a great job of getting, letting the community and the fans get a sneak peek of who our guys are, not just as basketball players, but I think that's we got some special guys, great guys. I said it, my favorite thing is being around them. It's the best part of my job is being around these guys, and they douse me with water tonight. They help keep you young, but in spite of the birthdays keep coming. But yeah, I just think that it's a great group of guys. I enjoy being around them. I hope they say the same thing about me, but we're just working hard and trying to get better.
We got 4 more hands raised, so we'll get to you guys and then wrap it up. Andrew first on the left.
Coach, at 1.8 minutes into the second half, Michi Johnson, Hayden Brown, and BBB all had 3 fouls at least, and you had, I think, all 3 freshmen out there on the court. What did you make of how they handled the moment, considering how close the game was at that time?
Yeah, they did a really good. I told those guys specifically, Gigi plays more minutes, okay? So it's easier kind of to evaluate that and for him to evaluate how he played, right? When you're playing in a small stretch and you're not getting out there and scoring 9 points or whatever it is, not even getting 3 shots off, it's hard for you to see what the value that you brought to that game was. And so I made sure I went out of my way specifically to tell both of those guys as we're on the court singing alma mater that those were significant and important minutes that those guys played. And I mean it, honestly. Those guys are going to have to – I said it before. My job is to develop those guys. And there's no better teacher than being out there on the court. And I thought they did a really good job. We were excited. Zach comes out and tries to throw a haymaker on the first time he touched the ball. That's what guys are going to do when they were going to prom last year. So that's part of it. It's a learning experience, but I thought their minutes were really valuable, extremely important, and I thought they did a really good job under the circumstances.
John on the left.
A couple different parts for you. If I understood Josh right, he said that y'all didn't really expect PJ to play too much. What were y'all expecting PJ to play? How did you think he played? But how do you think Josh handled that matchup and his physicality down low to have double-digit boards?
Yeah, we didn't spend a lot of time. We didn't spend as much time preparing for him. We were unsure. He hasn't played, and obviously there were some articles that were talking about mid-December or whatever, and but it's 90% of our prep. You wouldn't know by how we passed tonight. 90% of our preparation is us. It really doesn't have anything to do with the other team. I swear on that. And then out of the other 10%, most of that is personnel. So, but we prepared for them as a unit, the actions that they like to run. They throw the ball into the post. We worked on post defense a lot this weekend because Brad's committed to generating points around the basket, which most teams are. And you're more effective doing that with P.J. Hall than you just are. The guy's a really good player down there. So we didn't have a lot to change other than the fact that he shoots threes compared to a couple of the other guys that played the 5 spot for them that don't necessarily shoot threes. He does. He came out and banged the first one in with no hesitation. And so it wasn't much of an adjustment that way, but Josh did an incredible job. What a great game for Josh. Now he got 10 rebounds, and so it looks like it shows up in the stat sheet as well. But just the defense, that guy Hall is a big human being. He's massive, and aside from strength, he's just got mass. And so sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. And Josh is a massive guy too, as you know. And so I think just banging out there and laying a body against him, he had to work really hard, PJ did, to get to some spots. And he was still effective at times, but you don't pitch many shutouts. I don't know the last game that ended 2-0. So they're going to get some buckets. He's a good player, but I thought Josh did an incredible job with him, was physical, and then pursued the ball and rebounded the ball. And if we can I said it in the last one, I keep saying this, maybe he keeps playing better. I said it in the last game. In the last game, Josh played approximately 14 minutes, and I had 5 fouls, but he also rebounded, whatever it was, 5, 6 times or whatever, had a few offensive rebounds and blocked a couple shots. If we can get that out of Josh Gray every game, then that's a very, very important role for us.
Michael in the front.
Sticking with defense, I know you had said yesterday, and some of the players that defense was a major focus coming into this. Some of the decision making and things like that. What did you see from that aspect, as far as were guys making the right decisions out there today? Was there improvement in that regard?
Yeah, I thought we did a pretty good job. I mean, in terms of the decisions, I thought we did a significantly better job. The part that I didn't think we did quite as well tonight at was a couple personnel things. Like with Gigi Jackson, contesting a shot in college is different than contesting a shot in high school. And he always thinks he's closer. And, in college, these guys make that shot. And so we've been working with him, and based on the personnel, we're trying to get him to get up there. And he's so long and he's so good at recovering. He's an incredible athlete, so he recovers really well that he can afford to play a little closer at times. And when you have a guy with that scouting report, and he jabbed and jumpered in his face a couple times. And so, but as far as our adherence to rules on their actions, I thought we did a great job. Even some low cross screens that we haven't really guarded that much live. We've done it at practice in an attempt to prepare. We haven't played teams that do that live yet. And so it was the first time we did that. I thought we did a really good job of handling those actions. They got some guys that shoot and are used to coming off clean on some shots, and they didn't really in this game. So I thought we did a really good job in terms of our guarding actions. Really good, honestly. Just with some personnel related things that I thought we could have tightened up a little bit.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.